Hey, teachers, and welcome to the Happy Classroom. Today, I'd like to spend a few minutes just explaining my vision for the Happy Classroom and how it might be able to help you in your classroom. First of all, I believe that there's a problem facing many of our classrooms, and you may identify with this problem or perhaps not. I've seen this in my career. First of all, administrators pressure teachers to adopt new curriculums, become more efficient, to analyze data constantly, and to increase test scores. Teachers receive that pressure and attempt to be better teachers by cramming in more instructional activities and removing anything that might be considered fun or a waste of time. Kids receive that message that they are nothing but a test score and their personal worth is equivalent to their academic performance. Also, teachers end up getting burnt out and lose the passions that brought them to work with kids in the first place. And one final thing, kids begin to hate school because it's a place to follow rules and take tests. Those who do that well do okay, and the rest just go through the motions until gym class or recess. Have you ever heard of Simon Sinek's TED Talk on the Golden Circle? I'll include the YouTube link here if you haven't. I'm guessing you probably have. This framework has helped me to rethink everything that happens in my classroom. Although Sinek advises starting with why, and I agree, I think it might be easier to explain the happy classroom if I start with what, and then I'll get to the why. So, what is the Happy Classroom? Well, for teachers, first of all, it's a free curriculum, daily 10 to 15-minute lessons on self care, kindness, passion, and so much more. There's also a website, which is a place for teachers to go and find resources and inspiration to make their classrooms more fun and more student centered. And finally, it's also a social media presence, a place where teachers from all over share their inspiring stories of how happiness in their classrooms have brought joy and life back to the teaching profession. So, how does a happy classroom work? So, you can kind of picture your classroom here. And what it does for teachers, it helps them rediscover their purposes for becoming a teacher. Many of us forget that over the years. We learn to reflect on our own emotional, mental, and physical health. We dedicate 10 to 15 minutes a day teaching lessons that address the whole child health of our students. We redesign our lessons to excite and motivate students, and we run our classrooms with love and respect. For kids, it helps them to feel more excited to come to school. They have a purpose for learning. It helps them to feel welcomed, valuable, and important to their teacher and their classmates. They feel empowered to create their own learning goals. They learn tools for their own self care. And then for families, they get to feel more connected by reinforcing the happy classroom lessons at home. So, why do we need the happy classroom? I really do think it starts with individual teachers. And I've seen this in my own career when I'm able to focus on myself. And if I'm really teaching to my strengths and being the best teacher I can be, then that kind of radiates out to all these other places. It spreads out to the kids and they love coming to school, and some of that joy transfers to them. It also helps the families because the kids come home happy and they're excited to talk about their day. And families also feel like they're more connected and know what's going on at school. And then it stretches out to the whole school staff. And I'm not just talking about other teachers, which of course that does help, but you'd be surprised it can help the office staff, it can help the administration, it can help the school custodian or the lunch ladies or the paras. Everybody benefits by people focusing more on happiness. And then I really believe that it helps the community as well. If we start with happy schools, happy kids will be entering the college and workforce. And then eventually, over time, we'll end up having happier communities. So if you want to get involved today, there's a couple things you can do. You can browse the teacher page. You can go to the daily lessons page and actually try out a happy lesson. You can follow us on social media. You can send me an email at thehappyclassroom1@gmail.com. You can also share the happy classroom with your colleagues and friends. Thanks so much for stopping by to learn more about the happy classroom.